Y'all, this story is unbelievable. You hear me? So, a Georgia woman has sued a fertility clinic after she unexpectedly gave birth to a child that was the genetic offspring of another couple, not even hers. And then the child was ripped away from her months later. Insane. So 38-year-old Christina Murray went to an IVF clinic owned by Coastal Fertility Specialist in order to conceive a child. But she says she was completely shocked when she delivered another couple's baby. Reportedly, Christina filed a lawsuit yesterday on Tuesday, February 18th in Georgia State Court, and she alleged that she unknowingly and unwillingly carried a child all the way through pregnancy and after that was not even related to her. She claimed that not only was she implanted with another couple's embryo, but she was also traumatized by having to give custody of the child to the biological parents months later. And that was after she had already bonded as mother and son before she knew all this. She is reportedly a white woman, obviously, and she selected a white sperm donor. But she said that she knew something was wrong when she delivered a baby that was black. She said in the complaint she had no issues or concerns with the baby's race other than it indicated the baby was clearly not even related to her. She said the experience was terrifying and shocking, and I can imagine. She said what should have been a happy, joyful day was instead confusing and fearful. So DNA results later did confirm that Christina was not the biological mother of the child. Reportedly, over the child's first few months of life, Christina says she cared for him just like she would have done if the child had been biologically hers. She nursed him, cared for him, bonded with him. She says she didn't post pictures of the child or introduce the child to family, and she even went to a funeral, a family funeral, and put a blanket over the child because she didn't want questions being asked about the baby's parentage. She further stated that in the first 5 months, she had major anxiety and always wondered if the child was going to be taken from her. And she was also haunted by the idea that perhaps another couple had been impregnated with her actual embryo she was supposed to be pregnant with. So in turn, she alerted Coastal Fertility, and they in turn contacted the baby's biological parents, and they sued for custody of the child, which y'all, I can't blame them. So as a result of this lawsuit, the baby was ripped away from her, the one that she had bonded with, and her connection to the child was completely erased. His birth certificate was changed to his new name, and his birth parents now have full custody of him in a new state, a different state. She said that she decided to turn over the child to his biological parents after a lengthy litigation, and she has not seen the child since she turned him over to his parents. And it was said that despite the clinic's misconduct, she wanted to keep the baby, and that she was heartbroken having to give the baby up 5 months after bonding with him. She said it's destroyed her. She's heartsick and emotionally broken. She said nothing can erase the shock and violation upon learning that your doctor put a stranger's embryo inside your body, and I get that too. Her attorney said that Coastal Fertility Specialist made a very serious error, and the consequences are life-altering, and this should never happen, and that's so true. This is absolutely crazy, and overall, in my opinion, the only entity that should be sued is that fertility clinic. I can totally see why the biological parents wanted the child and why they got the child. They created the child, for crying out loud. And I also know how heartbreaking this had to have been for Christina, because she bonded with the child for 5 months and carried the child for 9 months. But to tell you the truth, I would have had to have questioned this in the very beginning so that something like this wouldn't happen and I wouldn't become more attached than I already was after giving birth. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know, because this story is wild. And for more content, be sure to follow. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe.